Let's do giant spec. I was about to take elite, but I really didn't like the starting units for elite very much. You're on the grind to 0. Oh, hell yeah. Don't worry, I got you, dude. Maybe I'll inspire you to I'll inspire you to think about how to play a little differently, and suddenly you'll start hitting your stride and having a nice winning streak. I got you. I got you, man. I got you. All right. So we're up against, we started off with giant spec. We can do a lot of giant plays in this game. I think the general rule of thumb should be, though, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's still make 2 deployments per round. Let's not just like skip deployments to make a giant, because I feel like that's, if you don't have enough units to cover a giant, it's just gonna die if your opponent has any idea how to counter it. So we'll play it safe. Giants will be used this game, though, for sure. I'll go ahead and grab myself. We honestly need chaff clear. Like, we have no actual chaff clear. So let's just make 2 arc lights. And the reason why am I choosing arc light over everything else? Because it's relatively a slow moving unit, and that's perfect for what I am doing right now, where I'm trying to protect my Sabertooth from a bunch of Void Eyes. I don't really care that much about the Sledgehammer. The Sabertooth will trade with Sludge all day, and it'll kill them over time. But what I do care about is the Void Eye DPS is really high at level 1. So I don't want to get shot by that. I don't want to get hit by 3,000 damage every 3 seconds. I'm good. I'll put a bunch of fangs out there just to make sure they're not in the way. Or that we're not getting hit by those things, so the fangs are in the way. And right now, the way this round looks is he made a lot of he made marksman, so he has a lot of DPS. He has a lot of DPS. And we have chaff clear when there's no chaff. So we can chill out on now thinking we need any more arc lights. Is what that means. We do not need more arc lights. Even though they can be smart. Would it be smart to do more arc lights? Probably not yet. I'll say I could do this late. I could still take this, and this still could actually be good for my first 2 arc lights. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just that even if I were to take this upgrade, I don't think that focusing on AoE based units is going to be a good idea when we're fighting more DPS focused requirements. So charge shot is the only way that actually works. I could actually, you know, here's where you can get crazy, right? You'll be like, all right, now I'll justify everything I just said by saying, you know what? I'll take it and I'll get another arc light. Not yet, though. Hold on. I can't afford it. It's I thought it was 200. It's 250. I'm not gonna. I am gonna get charge shot this game, and I'll push with that. So that'll be. This arc light will just be my anti-ground control, essentially. Right now we need DPS or we need cover. I'm gonna say we're about to make more DPS with arc light, but we can't afford charge shot yet. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's just give ourselves like some chaff like this that just kind of like comes out a little bit later than like it's fast, so it's in the back, but now it comes out while it spreads out off of a tower, and it helps us not get shot so fast by the marksman and the sledgehammer, his DPS units. And now look what he made. He made a couple fangs. So this is perfect for arc light. Arc light, now that we already have, are now in a great spot to kill these fangs. They'll help the saber not waste a lot of time. It's nice that our DPS and our AoE unit are together in 2 pairs, because we don't want to get stuck on fangs the entire time with our saber, vice versa. We don't want to get stuck on sledgehammers all day with our arc light until we have charge shot. But charge shot definitely can be a good option now, because again, that'll be our DPS coming in next round. I think I can afford it next round. And these sabers are great. They're definitely good DPS, but their DPS is very slow. So I want something a little bit more consistent to be able to actually like AoE down his sledgehammers now. Well, both our sabers leveled, so that's important. That's amazing. Wasp, that's good. Okay, here's what we're doing. We need anti-air first and foremost. I think Scorpion's off the table automatically because we have no anti-air that's going to be... We have Fangs, but... Yeah, no, I mean, I guess we have Fangs. We do have Fangs. Like, they could kill either one of these, realistically, and put in a good spot. Okay. We could make a... We actually... I take it all back. Maybe we actually take the Scorpion. And we put it here, and here's why. If he goes for air, we have... Fangs. They can totally kill these as long as they're covered, and what we need to cover them is DPS. A Scorpion is going to also be able to kill this Typhoon, no problem, if he takes that Typhoon. A Scorpion can also kill another Scorpion, no problem, if he takes a Scorpion. I'm going to put it on one side of the board. I'm going to level both my sabers. Actually, no, I'm going to put it in the fucking center, dude. This thing's going straight front and center, to be honest, because we just want to... I want to crush the area. Actually, no, it has to go on the side. I'll tell you. Okay, well, let me explain why. I can't afford charge shots still. All this stuff is it's just consistently too expensive. Okay. So if it's too expensive right now, I'm gonna prepare for charge shot next round by getting a couple more chaff units, and we'll get like maybe another arc light here on the side of the Scorpion. So what we're doing now is we have like pseudo DPS with the Scorpion here. It's DPS 100%, but I mean I don't know. I'm trying to think like how I want to justify my arc light, smart arc light. I really want to. I think it would be a good idea to utilize this because I want to show you that as long as we can follow the rules here, we can support any build you really want to support in this game. So the goal is I'm still going to be investing in my arc lights, and I'm going to support them with giant units, and I'm going to support them with like the Scorpion we have right now that is a drop. Even though the Scorpion is going to do a great job, if I were to now just go only Scorpion, it is going to be a lot more expensive overall to like make work. But like the current one we have can be amazing because like one area of the board that's able to control a spot and then paralyze a tower is incredibly powerful. It's super powerful in this game. So I am going to take an absorb module. The supply is great. Supply is always nice. You always get a lot of... The more supply you have, the easier it is to afford all the different variations of your build you're dealing with. And right now we've been screwed two rounds in a row by not being able to afford it by 50. So I think it sounds nice to also take supply to be able to afford what we're going for. I think supply actually pairs better with Arclight. I think absorb pairs better with Scorpion. The Scorpion already honestly should be able to kill inside of the board. So in reality, like both these options seem really good for our build. I don't think Overlord's great because it's too expensive right now. I'm going to make a couple more Fangs and attempt Arclight more right now. And then I don't want to do Tarantula right now. It's just out of my build. So I'm going to take supply. And I'm going to take charge shot. We already prepared for it last round too by making another Arclight. Let's go ahead and also make like 2 more Fangs and 1 more Arclight. And here's why. We're putting Arclight on the right now. So we're going to have quadrant, like all the quadrants of the board are going to have a bit of cover. And then we're going to put our Fangs now like behind. So what they're going to do is these Fangs are going to be coming out a little bit later. We'll also get damage for everybody. These Fangs will be coming out a little bit later, and they'll be able to survive long enough to hopefully kill the Sledgehammer and kill the Phantom Ray after the fact. The front ones are going to die. He has Arclights now himself. He also does have Smart Arclight too, so we both have the ability to do the same thing. Yeah, we definitely need some new chaff clear though. Pretty hard overall. Our board is definitely getting a... Like, charge shot does make you lose attack speed, so our board is definitely getting run over a lot quicker than we would otherwise, you know, like it to be. So if we just get our DPS actually doing DPS a little bit faster, we're going to be in a great spot. So a beautiful thing we can do with this, now we can also make a great play with this, is go, oh, well, right now I'm lacking in the form of AoE, again, pretty hard. My Arclights are not getting the job done because we're getting crawlers running over all of our sabers. We can't do anything. Let's go ahead and take a repair kit. Underground Threat's nice, Missile Strike's nice, Mass-Produced Wraith could be interesting. He does have Phantom Ray and Marksman, which could be scary for that. So I think a nice option would be We Are Giant Specialist. This is a nice repair kit. It does 4.5% HP, max HP a second, and we can make a nice unit that is free to research with Giant Specialist and put it on the board and put this thing right here in the middle of the board and maybe even get so crazy that we could put another one on the right side of the board right here. And now this Vulcan in the middle. Put the regen device on the Scorpion, actually. I'd probably sell the Scorpion soon, but for now, I'm actually just going to have it try to, like, tank through. The Vulcan being able to kill chaff is going to be really nice. Let's go ahead and get HP, because we have a last 100 we can spend for the round. And now I can honestly try to tank we're trying to tank through this rather than kill through this. But now we also turn on being able to kill through this at the same time by having Vulcans that are able to kill chaff. That gets in my face a lot faster. We still need to worry about the fact that these Phantom Rays exist. And now he's doubling down on Phantom Ray armor. So I would say if you're looking at our board right now, the best way to describe it is it really does control the ground. It can control the ground really well, but it can't do it if Phantom Ray are killing everybody that's supposed to be there. So the next round we play, we should really think about getting something that can kill air, like not these fangs. He has armor, so it needs to be something that doesn't hit like a fang. It needs to be something that hits a bit harder. Maybe a Phoenix, perhaps. Maybe our own Phantom Ray. Maybe Wasp. You know, there are options here. Maybe a Raiden. Maybe we make another giant unit. We'll see what the game gives us, though. But right now, our board definitely is lacking in the final department of anti-air. So this game's giving us Wasp. I have range on Wasp, and that's it. So I feel like I also have Farseer. I do not have Aerial Specialist on Farseer, so that's not a great option here. I would say the best option would then just be the Phoenix. Wraith would be alright. It does have range and 8-shot, but Wraith is... he has range too, and Wraith could get killed possibly because it's like up in there. And these things are already kind of high level. This thing is level 4. So let's maybe take the Phoenix. Yeah. Do I? You know, if I take EMP2 on a Farseer, it wouldn't be like that bad. Or just the Farseer DPS alone would be able to kill these two. To be honest. Let's just do a Farseer. We haven't really done much Farseer stuff yet. So we'll take the Farseer. It's fine. This Farseer does have photon emission, so maybe put it in a spot where it can apply that if I need to. Let's level that Arc Light. Let's get ourselves another Farseer, and then now we have 2 Farseers in the middle that can really help control the swarm of Phantom Rays that are starting to build. Let's get ourselves range on these Arc Lights, and let's get ourselves, I think, like just maybe 2 more in the middle now that we have range and charge shot, and now we also have a lot of giant support. I think this round as well, we'll play it safe. I'll give myself range for everybody with our little bit of extra. Okay, he's got Wasp now as well. So he's like crazy on the air. We should maybe make 2 more Farseers. Alright, the Farseer are definitely being able to kill the Phantom right here in the middle. So we're controlling the air a lot better at this point. Actually able to fight it off. And we'll make more Farseers again next round so we can actually control the air even better, because Farseer is a nice like mid-range safe unit without even needing an upgrade on it. And it can just really shut down multiple kinds of air, whether it be a big air unit or whether it be a lot of small air units. Its attack just simply attacks fast enough and does enough damage to make neither feel bad for you. You can just kill both of them. It's pretty nice. Efficient light manufacturing is really good. We are giant spec. Again, I could also do, I could focus on more giants with like, you know, there are a lot of ways we can play this, but I think probably the best value here, it has to be either the barrier or the efficient light manufacturing. Barrier would just be nice to like give me a shield here. Makes one side of my board harder to kill. Or I could do efficient light and then everything's cheaper overall. I think overall, we're probably still going to be investing a lot of money into the arc lights. So let's just do efficient light. So I can kind of still focus on like, this is the point I'm going for here. The arc lights are still the focus. I think it just I think everything we're doing right now with with also having efficient light just makes more sense than trying to just make like giants. Even though I'm giant specialist, I think our core build here is going to be just to focus on making the arc lights again, as all investment I can afford that's going to keep me reasonably alive goes into these units. So we're really keeping arc lights as like the focus. We're not deviating too hard from it. But at this point, I think I might deviate from the Scorpion, and I might get myself another Vulcan over here, and this time I'll put a regen device on my my middle Vulcan. He's in like the scariest position, so if I can keep him alive, that would be really nice. And I'll get range again for everybody. And we'll send it with that. Now he's going for big air, so he's got all different kinds of air. This is totally air focused. So let's really, let's understand that. Even though I really want to do an arc light build, maybe, like maybe I just get elite marksman if I have to. Otherwise, just maybe only level them and let that be it. Because this guy has spent the last like 3 rounds in a row only making air, and some of the air is very large now in the form of the Abyss, that big purple line shooting massive unit that he has. So I gotta really try to make these Farseers a little bit more value, or I need to just add something else, right? Like the Farseers are kind of struggling to get it done. Arc lights can't help them either, but a melting point could help them. So we'll go ahead and grab a melting point. That's a nice straight up option right there. We'll grab 2 melting points. I wasn't gonna do giants necessarily, but I mean, after that round, I feel like I needed to kind of rethink what we were going to do there, because the arc light investment we're going for needs to be kind of throttled, because we're investing into anti-ground, 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 and it's not even, it's anti-ground clear. I think it's one thing to swarm ground, and it's another thing to clear ground when they're not investing into it anymore, and you're starting to lose the fight. Understanding that, like, if we think about like what version of the game he's winning in, where it's like, oh, he's winning in the air battle, and if I keep investing into anti-ground right now, I'm going to keep losing to his air, because he's going to get even stronger in air next round if he keeps going down that road. So now, just being able to really, you know, take that in as we lost there and think that's what should happen here. Now it would be, okay, I should probably get something that's going to keep us alive against the air, which is, we have the melting point, we have Farseers. Do I want to turn anything on to my Farseer? Maybe EMP. Just based on what we have, just so like when this Abyss turns on more tech, I can turn off that tech, and so on, and try to not get punished by it so hard. And now finally, let's maybe give our Vulcans range, and let's give ourselves like 2 more fangs, and put them in the back, so they come out late. So we have units here that like cover us and protect us longer. We should also maybe make some more stuff on the right side too, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. We made our Vulcan have a little bit more range, just because they're a huge part of actually AoEing down the small units. They really need to not die super fast. It would be nice if they stay alive. That way our Farseers and everything have as much time as possible to actually shoot the scary stuff, which is the air units. Okay, we're locking onto the right Abyss already. Oh yeah, nice, nice. Right side of the board is winning. Our DPS is holding on. The melting points are nice. The melting points are just a unit that basically, the second it like locks on to whatever it's attacking, it ramps up damage to a point where you can't heal through it. It'll kill it. So really it's about like, if you shoot first on a melting point, you can totally win. And we lost the fight again. I would say one more time, we're really we're getting kind of run over. Now we're also getting, we just got lit on fire there by the Vulcan oil patches from these Phantom Ray. But overall, the air is definitely not feeling wonderful for us. Like the air is dying relatively slow. So I would say I would love Wasp here if Wasp had aerial specialist, because it just makes them do so much more damage and also have safer range. But I think out of all this, maybe we take the shield airdrop, honestly. Just like give something over here a bit of a shield protection. And we're getting kind of smashed out there. We're going to upgrade our investments. We're going to actually use fire against him this time, and we'll just drop oil all over him as well. If he's going to burn me, make me burn myself, I'm going to burn him too. And I'm just going to go ahead and light a lot of his units on fire on the engage. And let's go ahead and also just add some, like, some air clear. Let's give ourselves, let's actually do a rapid resupply because we're about to die. And let's give ourselves another Phoenix, like a group of Phoenix here in the middle that can just try to keep us alive. Alright, so we're looking for an engage. We're looking to try to stay alive. Okay, we got the left abyss pretty quickly. Yeah, I think we should, because even though he has like armor on, he has armor on Phantom Ray, and it really makes the idea of like Mustangs less appealing. I think if we put two Mustangs particularly in the bottom left and bottom right corners, then we can really turn on like range and aerial specialist here. Oh, he's actually, we're another round's happening. But yeah, I think if we put in the bottom right and bottom left corners Mustang there, I feel like we can get rid of these Wasp that are just like really making it take forever for our melting points to actually get through that. We could also throw down a bombard, and if he doesn't respect it, we might just kill a bunch of stuff. Just put it right there, it's fine. Let's do, let's respect it ourselves. Let's get a squad, or like a barrier here, and let's get a barrier over here, because I'm gonna put Mustangs in the corner on both sides, so they come out as late as possible. They don't run in and die. If I let them go too fast, these Abyss have a swarm missile ability. This ability will rain down missiles on top of the Mustang, and even anti-missile on Mustang is not going to be enough to stop it. So, and when one missile connects, the Mustang dies. And a lot of Mustangs will die every time that happens. So I really don't want my Mustangs to be going in fast at all. I want Mustangs to be able to hold up and survive. Lastly, I'll just add one more here too. There's not really okay, let's do range on everybody. Get a level up on my arc lights and my Phoenix. I'll just send it with that. But yeah, there's not really a lot of weak units in terms of air, but if I could kill some of the fangs and stuff like that with my Mustang. Oh my god, I got hit by the first missile on a bunch of them. That's unfortunate, but it's okay. Alright, left side Mustangs, get rid of those Wasp quickly. Right side. Lock onto that Abyss, please. That tower is so close to dying. Holy god. Oh, we're good. Yeah, the melting points really are helping a lot here, just to get through the air. And if we can make the melting points not take forever to get to the whatever they gotta get to, really does help a lot. So, to break this game down again, I would say We are Giant Specialist. We started off with Sabretooth and Fang, and then we decided we needed to make some Arclight because we lacked AoE. The Arclights really did not get as much done as we would have wanted them to get done, honestly. Smart Arclight is not a mandatory thing, but it's an opportunity to do a build that can scale like crazy. And scaling in Mechabellum is really powerful. So what we were going for is a very strong Arclight army, but then what happened is once we actually started getting to a point where we could actually get the Arclights going, the game transitioned into a straight up air rotation. And then once the air rotation happened, going for more Arclight, like full on, like, oh, okay, now's when I'm going to take Elite Marksman, and now's when I'm going to take electromagnetic shock. Anything like that, like what's going to happen is we're just going to overinvest and we're going to die because the actual board is now air versus ground on his side. That's what his investments are. It's how do I make my air kill your ground? And we were really given the Fangs, an opportunity to say, Fangs, kill those Phantom Ray. We're going to control the ground here. And the Fangs were like, all right, we're on it. And they failed over and over and over. And we made more Fangs and they failed again. And they kept failing so much that they couldn't even do it anymore. They're like, they got armor. There's armor on the Phantom Ray. So the Fangs had no hope. So because my Arclights don't actually have the technology of running anti-air spec right now, which normally I love it, and I'll once I get another tech point, I'll definitely put it on it. I think it's really how you can like make an Arclight build work, because you could actually then kill the air. But yeah, it's basically the Fangs failed, so we had to rotate a few times, and the Farseers also didn't have the greatest techs either for killing air, but it was a nice opportunity because we could get a level 3 one for free and continue our build there. The Farseers definitely slowed down the air situation, but then he started making a lot of other things like Wasp and Abyss, and we started getting really bogged down with how much pressure was in the sky, especially since our Farseers don't have good anti-air abilities. So making Melting Point, especially, like, it was nice because it was a drop, but it would have been nice either way because we're also Giant Specialist. So then we could just be like, all right, a Melting Point now is definitely going to help us here to be able to actually get through this really chonky air unit that has 235,000 health on both sides of the board. Granted, it wasn't like this when it started, but it's growing into that, and you can see it's right there. So having a Melting Point really allows us to get through that, because the Melting Point's damage just multiplies repeatedly once it latches onto a target, and it gets all the way as high as like the tens of thousands of DPS per, like, happening in every instance it hits damage for. So it's it gets really high really fast, and units just like explode once it ramps up a little bit. And it only takes like a few seconds, for like 5 seconds, for that to really start applying. But the last little bit here is the Phoenix really helped as well, because our Phoenix are trying to get through these big tanky Phantom Rays, and the Phantom Rays, if they're living too long, they're actually doing things like they're killing my Arclight, they're killing my Vulcan, and then they're making everything else behind just like swarm into me where I can't deal with it anymore. So really making sure we kill the Phantom Rays too is a big deal here, so that I can not have what's behind it be a problem, because I don't want these units killing, I don't want his DPS killing my DPS. How do we protect it? We get another form of a way we could kill it in a different way, which is DPS that's just like safer, and also it doesn't, like, once it looks at the Phantom Ray, it just, like, whatever Phantom Ray it shoots at, it's going to die. Like, Phoenix definitely can hit pretty hard too. But anyways, yeah. I think we could have done the same thing with more Farseers. I think the one thing that's nice though is that the Phoenix and the Farseer, even though it's only 5 range currently, like, if a unit has a different range to a different unit, you can actually, when the engage happens and like units are like a unit has died and another unit's like coming in to take its place, whenever things are out of range and coming into range, you like stagger the shots that they have so they don't overkill the same unit as often. I feel like having units at different range, also, like, you can substitute range too on the actual stat of the unit by also like where you place them on your board too, just so you don't always, and this is also the difference of like having a vertical line or a horizontal line, where you can like stagger the shots a little bit. Like, that kind of stuff does help just give you a non-wasteful engagement with how your units are firing. But overall, and the last thing as well, the last thing we did, the last final bit it transitioned into was we noticed as we now have the melting point, which was really like, now it became like the focus of the game because it's the only way we're getting out of the situation we're in with these really strong abyss and trying to make it work with just no air spec farseers. Basically we now go, okay, there's too many wasp in play, and if he makes, the scary thought is, if even just one on each quadrant is too much for me to handle, what if he makes another one? Or what if he makes like 2 at once on one side, and now suddenly there's 3 on one side? Or what if he makes 3 at once on one side, now there's 4 on one side, and then he really tries to paralyze the tower. And I'm like, if I don't have something to actually deal with this unit, my whole board breaks apart, because once again, I can't deal with what's killing me, the abyss, because this unit, the melting point, physically can't kill these fast enough. So we made a unit that's particularly good versus Wasp, which is the Mustang. And thank God our Mustang actually has anti-air specialist, because now we can actually have range that is more respectable. It keeps us further back and safer from things that will kill us, like abyss missiles. So we can keep the Mustangs, you know, alive longer to do their job, and just make sure they're alive before they stay alive long enough to kill the Wasp first. And once we did that, the board really came together again, because now, like, once these abyss, which these abyss are, if you think about it as well, in terms of like, let's say there's like a $sign above each unit's head, like these abyss are very heavyweights in his army in terms of investment. So if I can take out his quad upgraded double abyss, that's also level 2 on both of them. Like, that's his investment chunk. Every time those things explode, that's thousands of supply gone out of the fight now. So the output of his DPS is way down. So yeah, it really was controlling the abyss controls the board state here, I would say. At the end of it, that's what it developed into. The Phantom Ray really did way more than they should have, honestly, but it's because Fangs just couldn't get it done. They couldn't get it done, guys. That's why we give Fangs a hard time sometimes.